Alright guys, so we're back with Control again. Played a stream yesterday, did as much as we could do. I think I've posted my first part on YouTube, so we are going to be getting into it straight away. I'm not going to say too much. If you want to know all the information from the past gameplay, then check out my YouTube, as usual. Okay, so where did we leave off last night? So basically, guys, the reason there's some case files and correspondence is I accidentally came across one of the smaller missions, which was to cleanse some letters, and really all that happened was we fought against a couple of them enemies that we usually fight against. And we had to get like a letter that kept dashing around in that area. We did it, and obviously these are all the collectibles that we have gained from it, so I'm going to start by reading them all, and then we're going to get straight into our missions. So, see how we get on. Okay, letters procedures. Moving letters AI77KE containment procedure. So black rock paneling suppresses the item's effect. Description / altered effect. A stack of 4 envelopes, each containing a single page of paper. All 4 letters are illegible due to extreme water damage. The envelopes, curiously, do not show any sign of such damage and are covered in messages of love. The items are able to move short distances at a pace of less than something and always in a something direction. This is the first altered item to have multiple separate parts, a fact previously believed to be an impossibility by something or someone. A proposal to take the items outside the oldest house and follow their movement to its final destination is under consideration with the budget committee. In brackets, see file RTO 7158 for details. Background. Items was found in the dead letter archives, where the herd archivist found it attempting to escape a filing cabinet. She reports having no record of the items in her archive of letters. And then the correspondence. Let's have a look at these. Correspondence. Okay. So, cat clock. My clock is shaped like a cat and its eyes move and I think it's angry, but I keep apologising and it won't stop. But I said I'm sorry, Rory. But it won't leave me alone and I don't know what it wants. I can't keep apologising. G4, do you see it now? 2, it told me everyone is here and I need to be careful so they don't see me writing this letter. It wants me to stay with it with my eyes on its eyes. I'm moving very fast, but I can't keep going and I worry they will forget about me, so I need to... Okay, for some reason the... I don't know if these are deliberate spelling errors, but... or it's the object fucking that person's head up. About me, so I need to write you about this because I can't keep going. G, but the cat will because of its eyes. And then there's obviously something at the very end there. I'm gonna guess that's deliberate, and that whatever is making them stare at that cat clock thing, it is eventually making their brain a bit fucked up by the looks of things. Our whereabouts. Hey, you have questions and the prophets have your answer. If you are truly intrigued, watch the time. We've lost about 45 days in the past 4 years. The shortening of days, this is why the Vatican is a sundial dial, and all simultaneously a keyhole. Another thing while I'm here, if you want the secret to everything, compare plasma next to brain cells. The sun plus moon are composed of plasma, in brackets, simply light, not planets. After this is cemented in your psyche, ponder the current whereabouts of where you, I, and humanity reside. Cheers. Pinstripe world. I'm a plaid suit in a pinstripe world. I'm a plaid suit in a pinstripe world. I'm a plaid site in a pinstripe world. Okay, so I'm not going to read all that over and over and over again. But obviously whoever's wrote it is either being possessed or they have just lost it completely. But over and over and over again it keeps repeating, I'm a plaid suit in a pinstripe world. So I'm definitely not gonna, I mean, there is information deleted on this one, but I don't understand why, because it would, unless it's obviously important information in the middle of it all. Smoking ban, that's another one that we didn't read. We accidentally pressed on it yesterday. So, dear elected official, thanks to the recent smoking ban in my state, I'm happy to inform you I will not be voting for you in the next election. As everyone knows, smoking is being banned because the smoke is toxic to the aliens that the government sold our planet to in a secret deal. If humans keep smoking, the aliens won't be able to live on Earth. Our air would be poison to them. If your government, or if you government traitors can't stop people from smoking, then you won't get your millions of dollars from the aliens. I have a website, people know what's going on. We're going to keep smoking no matter what. This is a national emergency. Politicians are handing the planet over to alien overlords. We won't let you, we will resist. I will smoke forever. Signed, a proud smoker / rebel / patriot. Alright. They're obviously very psyched about wanting to smoke, believing that it's toxic to aliens, even though that isn't the case. But there you go. To the esteemed members of the American Psychiatric Council, I'm writing you to inquire about the significance of dreams in relation to one's mental health, ? I'm aware that there are many books purporting to contain the true meanings of dreams, but I have reservations about their legitimacy. I understand that this is not usually done, but if I would greatly appreciate your thoughts on my condition. Again, that's really worded strangely, so unless I'm just reading it wrong. Ever since I was young, I have had intensely vivid dreams. They only occur sporadically, but in them I witness very strange events. I understand dreams can seem real at the time, but these feel markedly different. They do not occur often, perhaps only 1 or 2 a year. Last night I had one. I saw a small empty town. It was utterly dark. There was a lake at its centre. Shadows of people moved around me, muttering odd things. A bright light woke me up. I was screaming in my sleep. My wife had been shaking me for minutes before I woke. Because of this recent incident, I have decided to seek help. The doctor says I'm physically fine, but I wanted to consult your expertise. Thank you for your valuable time. Yours very sincerely, Richard Bowker. Or Bowker. And then we're at the very bottom. Dear gentlemen of the Society of Sciences, it's been some time since I sent my initial letter. I hope it is not the case that you have dismissed my claims outright. In that hope, I am writing you to once more ask for your help in understanding the oddity that has befallen me in my home. I've recently begun renting a new apartment in the city. The space is nothing special, though for a time I found the isolation quite soothing. Recently I have begun experiencing a strange occurrence. When I'm in my kitchen, a tiny little thing with not much but a sink, I sometimes lose myself. My surroundings change. I find myself standing on a strange dark stone. I stare out at a colourless sky, as white as undisturbed snow, terrified of moving. Perhaps this is a brain issue, ? I think not, as it feels terribly real. This has been occurring for some months now, and I have been becoming frightened of entering the kitchen. If it's not too much of an inconvenience, I would dearly appreciate a visit from one of your professionals to see what they make of it. I await your response with little expectation, but with great hope. Very truly yours, Lorraine Fitzgerald. I've heard that name before, you know. Is she in like a horror film or something? I swear I've heard that name before. Okay, so we have caught up with all the collectibles that we didn't read, and I thought I'd leave it till today so that we can read them, because obviously I came across it by accident while saving the game yesterday. And I know you might think of it as, you know, why was I in that area to start with when I ended here? Well, what I tend to do, I double check. So I go to a certain area and then I come back to the same area so that it overwrites, you know, and it auto saves by doing that. But along the way of where I, you know, went to, there was a mission right in front of it, and I thought, oh, what's this all about? And it turned out to be one of the missions that I didn't know that we had to do. So it is what it is. It wasn't really much amiss, guys, to be honest. It was just one of the smaller side quests. Well, you know, it was like 1 out of 4 of all the other side quest bits that we needed for one side quest mission. Okay.
Man, I never thought I'd be working in the executive sector. Look at me now, Ma.
So we've spoken to...
Me too. You're not the only one who's busy, you know.
We've spoken to him. Okay. So let's check out all these weapon mods. We don't need some of them, and we can't use some of them anyway. So at the moment we've only got rare or higher. Absolute, I think, is one, and so you've got prime and absolute, which are the best ones we've got so far. The weapons we have slightly got... No, we have actually got the exact same. The only reason I'm keeping this one, the low health boost one, is it's a rare item, and it also is damage while low on health plus 72%. So if we need to get to that at some point in the future, yes, it's 2 down from the top, but we might need it. Okay. Okay, so this is the one that we accidentally came across on last night, with the Alan Wake storyline. I still didn't really look. Where was it that I needed to go for this? Investigation sector. Yeah, I didn't really look, but obviously it is tied to Alan Wake in some way, so I find it very interesting personally. Explore the investigations sector. Okay.
Hello? Anyone here? Guess not.
Missing agents, and then we've got a date at the top, something 2017, Mr. Kirkland. Here are latest agents confirmed missing, presumed dead from the containment breach yesterday. And then we've got Agent Jonathan Connor, researcher Ezra Cruz, Agent Caroline Dempsey, Agent Lindsay Malcolm, Agent Charles Murray, and Agent Derek Shah. Letters of condolence will be delivered to you to sign prior to sending them to their families. You will be updated as soon as additional confirmations are made. Also, per your request, a network engineer checked how many cases were backed up digitally. Unfortunately, a large number of active investigations were not archived yet, and the only hard copies of reports exist before the firebreak. They're lost, I'm afraid.
Seems a lot more crowded than the rest of the Bureau.
Tractor supplements. Burrow Tractor AI82 KE supplementary materials. In brackets, note miscommunication led to a local coroner examining the body of William Burrow. And then we got Burrow William, male, Caucasian. Case summary: 33-year-old man found dead on his property. Per police report, remains obtained for coroner's office also include blood, urine, bile, stomach contents, and bone fragments. Autopsy findings: blunt force injuries, head, A. lacerations, left ear/cheek, blunt force injuries, extremities, A. dislocation, right knee, B. complete avulsion of the right upper extremity with associated fracture of the proximal right humerus, extensive trauma abdominal region, A. complete avulsion of multiple organs including stomach, heart, liver, pancreas, kidneys, and portions of the large and small intestine, in brackets all missing from scene. Conclusion: it is my opinion that Mr. Burrow's death is not the result of a mechanical accident as claimed by authorities. The removal of organs is consistent with animal attack. Interesting. Resignation letter. Something of something 2019. To whom it may concern, it is with great anger and regret that I tender my resignation as head of investigations for the Federal Bureau of Control. I do this in protest of the rampant disregard for my department's something. My staff cannot continue to work in these conditions. Previous requests and warnings have fallen on deaf ears, so I must now rely on my actions to speak louder than my words ever could. I blame the situation on our something or someone who has routinely ignored my requests for assistance in reclaiming the parts of the investigation sector lost to the something loose inside. Guessing the hiss. I'll never forget the screams of brave agents begging for us to open that firebreak. I will carry that shame for the rest of my days. The something has failed as agents. I shall never forgive him for that. Sincerely, William Kirkland.
It's not working. Probably a loose power core somewhere.
Staffing issue, Mr. Dennis. So yes, there's an increase in AWE cases, and yes, it would be a good idea to put together a special task force to examine exactly why that is. However, it seems that a tiny little detail has slipped through the cracks. We don't have the damn staff. If you expect us to detect, investigate, and process more AWE cases, you need to give us more people. It's simple math between the staff we lost in the Hartman thing and the ones who left for other departments after Kirkland quit. We're barely managing to keep up with the workload. Hell, just filing the paperwork for all the altered items we left behind in the sector has been an ordeal. Another thing, and this is going to sound paradoxical, but we have an overcrowding situation. This lobby isn't meant to accommodate a whole sector's worth of staff. We put forward a motion to move investigations to a more suitable location months ago. It better not still be sitting on your desk. The people are getting restless, and as Kirkland's interim replacement, it's your job to handle it. Best regards, Agent Grayson. Darling investigation. Official findings report RE Dr. Casper Darling. Internal/confidential. Summary. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, internal investigation DO845 was launched into the ethical practices of Dr. Casper Darling, head of research. Despite the accounts of anonymous something regarding inhumane treatment of a something currently housed in the Bureau, our official findings regarding this were inconclusive. Numerous obstacles arose during this investigation. The majority of something sector personnel seemed to be wholly unaware of any such something contained there. One something confirmed the something's code name to be something, but all files pertaining to that name were inaccessible, being classified under the highest clearance level. Investigations were similarly blocked from entering the something research wing to interview its staff. The matter was further complicated by the lack of clarity on whether non-human paranatural entities warrant humane treatment. While this investigation cannot address any charges against Dr. Darling, we do recommend an investigation into something research. Refer to file 9820136 for full reports. Again, I don't really understand why these words are... what's the word for it when obviously, it's been blacked out? There's a word for it, where obviously, you have certain words that have been blocked out, and there's a reason, but I can't think of what it is. But I don't understand why it's on here, blocked out. Is it important information? Anyway, there's a word for it. I can't think of the word. But still yet to understand that part. Got another letter here. KC Inquiry, Mr. Dennis. A request came through recently from an FBI agent asking for all our files on Bright Falls, specifically on the disappearance of the author Alan Wake. Per the interagency information exchange agreement, I had some paper pushers gather up a folder of all the pre-approved files. Don't worry, all the inappropriate material is either missing or redacted. That's the word for it. When there's certain letters or words in a letter and it's been like blurred out, or like there's like a black rectangle around that word, it means that certain words have been redacted on the letter. That was the word I was looking for. But writing to let you know that we received this request from a special agent named Alex Casey. Sounds familiar, right? Question mark. That's because Alex Casey is the name of the fictional detective in those hard-boiled crime books Alan Wake wrote. Pretty interesting that an FBI agent sharing a name with the most famous character Wake wrote is looking into a case dealing with a writer's fiction coming true. I think this is worth looking into, but what's your opinion? Question mark. Just give the word and I'll start surveillance on this guy. Special Investigator Gleason. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to find a power source at the moment, by the looks of things, in order to open this up. Cauldron Lake update. Federal Bureau of Control. To Chief Investigator Dennis, it happened again. Third time this year, something certainly has it out for our something. Could be raccoons, the locals certainly complain about them enough, but why the hell would raccoons keep going after a monitoring station? Question mark. Doesn't add up. Anyway, I've got a bureau tech going to the site next week to take a look. Next on the list of recurring problems is a staff at the Lake House Research Station. How am I supposed to effectively keep an eye on something lake if they won't let me see any data? Question mark. Hell, I don't even know what they're researching out there. And it's got what's underlined. We need to petition them again to share their info with investigations agents. It's only a matter of time before this something hits again, and I want to be prepared. Anyway, if anyone at HQ asks why the Bright Falls report is a little thin this month, tell them it's because we couldn't take any readings. In the meantime, I might investigate in some raccoon traps. Sincerely, Agent Estevez. I still... Mate, you literally said yourself, why would raccoons destroy a monitoring station? So why are you going to invest in some raccoon traps if you don't think it's the raccoons? You know, I don't believe in walking down the road in a straight line, but I'm still gonna do it. Well, don't say your opinion on it then, innit? Right, let's carry on. So it's obvious that we need to go upstairs, I'm assuming. Sector Head Office. There we go, we got a few more information. Underhill background, official findings report, RE Dr. Rhea Underhill. Summary, Dr. Rhea Underhill is a professor at the University of Woodrow in the United Kingdom, where she teaches biology with a focus on botany. Dr. Underhill once worked with the Bureau as a parabotanist, stationed in the research sector of the oldest house. She served with no incidents or demerits and is praised by those who formerly worked with her, including Dr. Darling. Dr. Underhill has no known connections to paranormal, paracriminal even, organisations or any record of breaching her NDAs since leaving the Bureau. Her civilian behaviour has been ideal, with the exception of an ongoing personal relationship with Dr. Darling that appears to have begun during their time as co-workers in the research sector and revisited intermittently ever since. Depending on the duration of her work in the oldest house, it may be required to have both parties sign a relationship clearance form. That's interesting. So they were both in some kind of relationship. This investigation has found no compelling reason to deny Dr. Darling's request to offer Dr. Underhill an interim position with the aim of finding a solution to the mould threshold issue. Refer to file 708-5286 for full report. There's a lot of information down here, I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty happy about that. So, Director Investigation. Official findings report RE something, internal/confidential. Summary per authorization from Mr. Kirkland. Something was launched into the something of Director Zachariah Trench. A recent change in something witnessed in Director Trench, including aggressive something when something with other staff has been observed. However, this investigation is aimed at interpreting this issue rather than proving it. Notable something between Director Trench and Dr. Darling has been witnessed by numerous Bureau staff. Although both declined to meet for an interview on the matter, witness accounts suggest their arguments centre around the dimensional research wing, and the something kept inside. However, no evidence exists to confirm Director Trench's something as anything more than interpersonal disagreements. This investigation has concluded that Director Trench's behaviour is not indicative of any something, and that his fitness to lead is not in question. Refer to file something for full report. Okay, new weapon mod. Awesome. And then Trench official warning. Federal Bureau of Control. Kirkland, I am growing tired of your blatant attempts to lay your incompetence at my doorstep. I know you want this to be true, but you are head of investigations. This failure is your responsibility. What did you think would happen holding a dangerous specimen in investigations? Question mark. The containment sector exists for a reason. They are better trained and better equipped for this type of work. In fact, they have admirably taken on certain AWE monitoring responsibilities that your staff are no longer capable of. This happens more and more now. And don't think your petty internal investigations have gone past my notice. You are a worm. Everything I've done that has been for the benefit of the Bureau. The prime candidate program only failed because of Darling. You are both failures plotting against me. You are traitors, but the truth will emerge out of you. You are choosing to become my enemy, Kirkland. You don't want to be. Zachariah Trench, Director of the Federal Bureau of Control. So obviously there was a major issue between Director Trench and Kirkland, and that might be possibly why he left the job. Keystone inspection. Mr. Kirkland, we stopped at Keystone on our way to the target AWE like you asked. I'm sending my report directly to you to try and keep a lid on this Grumman/Morales desertion issue. We didn't find any sign of them here. Given their records, it is possible they've switched teams like you suspected, but I don't think that's the case. An event definitely occurred here in Keystone, and I think Grumman and Morales got caught up in it. The entire population has vanished into thin air. Reminds me of the ordinary case, but that was just the adults if I'm remembering the file correctly. This is different. I think our guys are casualties, not traitors. If it was an AWE, it seems to be over. We walked through the whole town, and the only strange thing we noticed were markings on various buildings. 2 overlapping circles with a dot in the shared space. Could be unrelated. I'll show you the pictures when I get back. In the meantime, you should send a team out of here to cordon this place off and maybe get the comms guys working on a cover story. Sincerely, Agent Keenum. Okay, so we've moved boxes out the way for this area. Ethics investigation. Official findings report RE the prime candidate program. Internal/confidential summary. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland. Internal investigation P142. 9 was launched into the legality of the Prime Candidate Program, something by the Federal Bureau of Control. Since all known subjects relevant to the investigation used executive privilege to decline interviews, very little first-hand information was gathered. However, anonymous sources and documentation declassified by Mr. Kirkland both paint an alarmingly clear picture of systematic something and something were brought into the oldest house and placed under something examination and testing with the aim of appointing one as director upon maturity. This program has produced no successful cases and only resulted in the traumatic something of paranaturally inclined something. Not only is this in the breach of the Ash Act, but it flies in the face of basic human something. This investigation team unequivocally something the Prime Candidate Program and recommends that it can be something or that it be something immediately. Refer to file 9820136 full report. Okay, we've got a shit ton of our information here, guys. Tractor procedures. Borough Tractor AI82KE containment procedure. Item is not in Bureau custody. None known. Description / altered effect. A Frank elk tractor, olive green, dried blood on the grill when last seen. Item is capable of vocalized responses in brackets or growls and unmanned locomotion. Considered highly aggressive and dangerous. Background. The item first came to the Bureau's attention after the death of William Burrow, owner of Burrow Farm outside of Trenton, Texas. Local authorities arrived on scene after an employee found the mutilated body of Mr. Burrow beneath his tractor. Police arrived but were immediately driven away by the tractor. Panicked calls to federal authorities were intercepted by Bureau communications staff. A team was dispatched. Upon arrival, the agents approached the item. It responded by quote-unquote growling like a bear. 3 agents were injured when they tried to detain the item, which escaped. Aerial searches for the item are ongoing. So speaking to Mrs. Burrow only revealed that she had a domestic altercation with Mr. Burrow earlier the night of the incident. Whether these events are connected is currently unknown. So the only thing...
There. Now that gate should open.
Specimen escape assessment. Official findings report RE incident number A49 internal / confidential. Summary. The purpose of internal investigation XO397 is to examine the containment failure of specimen SI1 that resulted in the deaths of so many agents. An inspection report of the containment equipment 3 days earlier showed no faults. Investigators suspect human error to be the cause, yet no department has proved or provided any evidence to support this. Technicians were able to recover the researchers' notes on the specimen from the internal network. On the something, the specimen began displaying a sharp increase in aggressive something. Cross-referencing that date with various logs found only 2 events inconsistent with the sector's daily routine. Number 1, the air filters were changed, and number 2, an hour prior to the incident, a civilian named Alice someone entered the sector regarding an unrelated investigation. in brackets see interview number 65 or 65F124. Given their connection to the same AWE case, it is likely that Mrs. Someone's presence is relevant to the specimen's escape and to the something. Investigation is ongoing. Refer to file 6230721 for full report.
I'm no detective, but something definitely happened here.
Blessed Organization. Paracriminal profile the Blessed Organization. Summary: this group/individual has operated outside of the Bureau's notice for decades, perhaps longer, displaying a level of skill and caution rarely seen in paracriminal groups. A review of past cases has found various mentions of their activity over the years. In 2016, a production company called Blessed Pictures was connected to an altered item case, as well as the death of an agent from exposure to illicit paranatural materials. In 1994, Los Angeles-based public speaker named Chester Bless was involved in the illegal use of an altered item. In 1988, a business called Blessed Repair and Service was suspected of involvement with an object of power case, perhaps even creating it. None of these businesses or individuals have ever been located. However, their connection to appearances of altered items and objects of power is too direct to be considered circumstantial. An arrest order has been issued for any persons believed to be involved with the Blessed Organization. Refer to file 7390922 for full report.
Do we know each other? This feels familiar. I can't seem to... I've forgotten it. I'm sorry. My name is Alan Wake. Who are you? Who are you? Do I know you?
I'm your friend Tom. Tom Zane. There's nothing to worry about.
Tom. The poet. The diver. You look different.
That was just a role. A character. The protagonist I played in my old film. I'm a filmmaker. An auteur like yourself. We're working on this together, remember? An artistic collaboration. You need a drink. Get this.
Endless darkness. Nothing holds still.
But we're very close now. You've been writing. I found a way to escape. It'll work this time.
Writing?
You found a way!
No. I don't... Wait. There's something. It's my double. He's out there. I've seen it.
Yeah. Nothing to worry about. I'm dealing with it. It's fine, my friend. Let me handle him.
You've met him? What the hell?
Now, come on. You misunderstand me.
That was the Alan Wake? The famous writer? He disappeared years ago. It was all over the news back then. And Thomas Zane was with him. The poet. No, wait. He was a filmmaker. I was wrong.
Dr. Emil Hartman, devoured by... Dr. Emil Hartman was desperate. The Federal Bureau of Control had stolen his life's work. This was his last chance, his final experiment. What he'd been too scared to do before. Hartman dove into the lake, was taken, devoured by hungry darkness, became the thing that had been Hartman. Only an echo of him remained. Fragmented impulses on autoplay. Violent, bloodthirsty darkness in the driver's seat. Emerging from the lake, the thing was captured by the FBC. Brought in, contained, studied. The thing broke loose, killed everyone it could. The FBC fell back and sealed the sector. The thing was alone in the dark, lurking, roaming, waiting. Then something else came. Not darkness, but similar enough. A sound. A resonance. It shouldn't be a surprise. If there's one, why not another? The darkness inside the thing could have been immune, could have resisted, fought, could have been passed by, passed through with no effect. But it didn't, and it wasn't. Maybe it had grown weaker over time, not aged. It was timeless, but weaker with no link to its source. A metamorphosis followed. The thing that had been Hartman went through another change. Gray darkness became the thing that had been Hartman. Broke loose, killed everyone it could. Lurking, roaming, waiting. Then something else came. A resonance. The thing that had been Hartman went through another change.
abandoned.
Investigation sector.
Why did Wake want me to come here? That doesn't look like a house shift. Do I even want to know?
Material shaded faucet. The hiss are already in here. Foot gossip. Hello, my feet gossip at night, and now I have to wear shoes to bed. Sincerely, me. Hey? Well, if that wasn't the weirdest shit, I don't know what was, to be honest. So we're in another, like, dimension area again. How did you get to that? Fuck knows, I guess we'll come back to it. Hartman arrest. Official arrest report case number 70 or 74WA004. Offender name or offender's name Emil Hartman. Victim's name Alan Wake Anderson. T.O.R. Anderson Odin Lane Desol Rudolph, and there's a name that's been blanked out. Emerson Thomas or Thomas Emerson something. Officer's name Agent Remy Dennis, Special Agent Remy Dennis. Reason that it's confusing me because obviously they've put these surnames at the very start, which is realistic, but it's confusing. Right, charges, code 4, kidnapping of altered individuals, 1 count. Code 8, sanctions against altered organizations, 1 count. Code 37, obstruction of bureau investigation, 1 count. Code 74, breaching the Asher Act, 6 counts. Additional notes. Offender's property seized as evidence to be used in conjunction with an ongoing AWE investigation. Offender's personal effects have been sent to research for analysis. After being cleared by Bureau researchers, all victims have been released. Biannual surveillance orders were assigned to each, except the Anderson brothers, in brackets, due to their senility, and Wake, in brackets, possibly deceased. Nah, I don't think he's dead. He's just trapped in a different dimension.
Whoa. Looks like the house has gotten a little wild in here.
A power source.
This darkness is blocking the door. Now I have to deal with an interdimensional lamp burns it away, huh? Makes sense.
Found Hartman. By the looks of things.
The third thing. The sound made darker, the darkness made louder. Resonance carves its way through the thing that had been Hartman, vibrating, remolding. The sound changes the darkness, and the darkness changes the sound. They both changed what remained of Hartman. They all turned into something else. A third thing. The sound made darker. The darkness made louder. Hartman was stretched. Stretched as anyone when seen from out of time, like a worm through time. Almost an Ouroboros, a spiral, a maelstrom. The gravity well of a black hole, twisting inward, tightening, taking you deeper and deeper to the bottom, the heart, and through to the other side. The third thing said, when you hear this, you will know you're a new you. He said, we build you till nothing remains. He said, under the conceptual reality, behind this reality, you must want these ways to drag you away. He said, baby, baby, was a monster. He'd tear apart any ordinary person crossing his path. Now we crashed out of darkness toward Faden. There was nothing ordinary about Faden. Worm through time. The third thing was a monster. Now we crashed out of darkness toward Faden.
Eagle Limited summary. The Eagle Limited in brackets AWE 44. Event summary: a train derailment resulting in 62 casualties and numerous injuries was suspected to have been the work of a paracriminal group known as Something. As a result of this event, the agents discovered that one of the cars had become altered with a persistent auditory event. It remains to be determined whether the AWE was spontaneous or the direct result of the sabotage. Event response: the Bureau had been tracking said group at the time, and the intel gathered suggested an event of this caliber was imminent in Bloomington. As a result, a response team on site was able to respond to the train accident site within minutes of its occurrence. They arrived to find emergency processes underway, but also equipment left behind by the suspected group. A suspicious onlooker managed to elude agents after they attempted to make contact. Further investigation of the accident site revealed a curiously undamaged train car that exhibited an altered state when entered. This individual car was secured and transported to the investigation sector for further studies. The Shadow. Examination of paranatural entities. The Shadow. Summary: paranatural entity A010 in brackets aka the Shadow is an aggressive something consisting of three known types. Type A: localized manifestations of sentient something capable of occupying organic and inorganic materials as well as exerting something over its surroundings. Type B: shaded individuals, human bodies, something by the Shadow. These individuals become notably more aggressive but do seem to retain something of their previous selves. Research is ongoing as to whether this condition is reversible. Type C: shaded objects, similar to Type B, except that inanimate objects are something solely to be used as destructive tools. Each type seems to work towards a shared goal, possibly targeting certain individuals in brackets CAWE 35, which may imply a shared link to a something intelligence. The threat this entity poses warrants immediate exploration of offensive/defensive measures. The investigation sector is being outfitted with additional lighting sources, some internally powered, to prepare for the eventuality of an something. Refer to file 6341923 for full reports.
My understanding of the darkness is fragmented, incomplete. This abyss, this void, it very much does not wish to be understood. If light symbolizes knowledge, then it stands to reason that darkness would equate to ignorance. By its very nature, it abhors comprehension. Of course, my own nature drives me to comprehend all. We are opposing forces, destined to collide. And given this conflict of natures, we know that the light of truth will burn away the darkness, both figuratively and literally. Any significant light source can be used as protection, even weaponry against this metaphysical gloom. And then there are the artists. I know for a fact that Tom, Wake, the Anderson brothers, and Lane all had some involvement with the darkness. The question is whether their uncanny ability to affect reality through their art beckons the darkness, or did their work perhaps even create it? With Wake now secure in my lodge, I expect I shall grow closer to learning the answers to these questions. Assuming he cooperates, which is proving quite the challenge. Well, perseverance is the foundation of knowledge. Speaking of, I must be off on my rounds. Of the darkness is fragmented. It very much does not wish to be understood. If light symbolizes knowledge, then it stands to reason that darkness would equate to ignorance. By its very nature, it abhors knowledge. Of course, my own nature drives me to comprehend.
Agent Fisher, day 6 inside the motel. Utilized surveillance methods are as follows. Fiber optic cameras slid under the individual room doors. Motion detectors in the lobby area. Tripwire, triggering a flash camera across the main entrance. Even fingerprint powder on the front desk. Results are varying at best. But mostly just inconclusive and unusable. The footage is corrupted. Sometimes even the equipment is damaged. I don't know how, exactly. I think this place is making fun of me. That's the only explanation. I can hear them laughing and screaming behind the closed doors. I can hear the call bell go and ding multiple times a day, but when I look, there's no one there. I know I'm supposed to stay out of sight, but I've seen the doors closing just before I can catch even a glimpse of anyone or anything. They're messing with me, whoever they are. I think... Wait, shh. There's something. I gotta get this out. I gotta get the cable out. Come on, you fiber optic fuck, cooperate. Okay, There we go. All right. That was faint, but I definitely heard movement coming from the hallway. I think I might have finally caught one. The recording better work this time, or I swear to God I'll... What? Hello? Who's there? Oh, shit. I'm with the FBC. Move away from the door. I have a... Where's my...
Research inside the motel. Utilized surveillance methods are as follows. Fiber optic cameras lit under the individual rooms, motion detectors in the lobby. Tripwire triggering a flash camera across the hand. Fingerprint powder. Results are there.
Okay, got quite a bit of information here to read. Alright, personal mods. So we got some of them. Awesome. Right, research and records. So we got Hiss Ranger in brackets airborne. Field research of Hiss entity Hiss corrupted Ranger in brackets airborne confidential. Summary: the subgroup of Hiss corrupted Rangers has manifested the ability to levitate similarly to Hiss elevated agents. However, these airborne Hiss Rangers display no telekinetic abilities and simply continue to use mundane Bureau weaponry. This evolution being so similar to the elevated possibly indicates that Hiss can share pure mutations through a type of network or perhaps osmosis. Yeah, that's the right word, isn't it? However, the fact that this development in Hiss Rangers has only been observed in the interrogation or investigations sector may indicate that an environmental factor is responsible. They could be responding to an altered item or other paranatural elements found only in that sector, or perhaps this is the natural progression of the Hiss Ranger phenotype. No, not enough time has passed to determine a conclusive trajectory of development for each of the Hiss manifestations, assuming any such trajectory exists. Refer to file something for full reports. Alright. Black market. Official findings report illegal altered item market. Summary: a black market hub specializing in the trade of occult talismans, relics and other assorted ceremonial objects, as well as genuine altered and paranatural materials, was raided in somewhere Czech Republic by a team of special investigators. Unsuccessful attempts by suspects to escape using altered items resulted in numerous casualties and prevented the Bureau from questioning all participants. The following interrogations revealed that not only is there a vast network of these retailers, but that they seem to be gathering information on altered items and other paranatural materials from sources unknown to the Bureau. The Bureau's concern here is threefold. A. There is a growing underground market for paranatural materials, which implies a growing awareness of their existence among a niche group of the general public. B. These criminal individuals do not seem aware of the item's paranatural powers, and their attempts to activate them could prove devastating if done in populated areas. And C. The motivations of these collectors are largely unknown. Refer to file 51202221 for full reports. Okay. NASA Cooperation Review. Interagency Cooperation Decision RE NASA. Summary. Following the NASA/FBC Coordination Agreement of 1972, the Bureau has provided NASA with numerous technological advancements based on our research, including the black rock lining now found in all spacefaring vessels. In return, all data gathered during space missions is made available for Bureau researchers to analyze. Recently, certain individuals have raised the concern that this relationship does not adequately benefit the Bureau, either intellectually or financially. A thorough examination of the costs accrued by both organizations has shown that the expense of NASA's recent launch of the Something far outweighs any spending related to the processing and delivery of black rock. From its medium Earth orbit, the Something will provide the Bureau with an unparalleled resource for remotely monitoring and photographing AWE sites, a resource that would be lost if the partnership ends. It is the opinion of this committee that maintaining a cooperative relationship with our colleagues at NASA is of vital importance. Refer to file 3814812 for full report. Is there anything else? Let's have a look. Okay, doesn't look like there's anything else. Awesome.
I can hear them laughing and screaming behind the closed doors. I can hear the call bell go and ding multiple times a day, but when I look, there's no one there. I know I'm supposed to be outside, but I've seen the doors closing just before I can catch even a glimpse of anyone or anything. They're messing with me, whoever they are. I think. Wait. Shh. The cable out.
Another mod, perfect.
Darkness everywhere. The air in here slides as you start standing up. Lighten them up.
I don't feel right. Something in this darkness is draining me. Is that?
Come on, elevator, time to go!
So it's getting light. I can use that.
quite a bit of information here.
Hennerman, 21 years old, resident of Southern... Brian Hennerman, 21 years old, resident of Southern Texas.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but I really don't understand why I'm here.
You know what you did, Mr. Hennerman.
I do?
Tell me about Delivery Disaster.
The movie? I mean, it wasn't very good.
That's not what your review said, but we'll come back to that. Tell me where you got the movie from.
Movie night with a K, not an N, not night like nighttime, but...
Who contacted you? Who told you to review that film?
No one. I just did it because it looked obscure. I didn't even like the movie. I shouldn't have given such a high score, but reviewing obscure films makes you look smart, and I thought if I looked smart, I would get listeners. My podcast would take off, and I could move out of my parents' basement, and maybe even go to college and get a film degree like I've always wanted to. I swear. I swear, I swear, I swear.
Okay, the kid doesn't know shit. I'm ending the session. Texas.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but I really don't understand why I'm here.
You know what you did, Mr.
Just looking for any kind of collectibles, guys.
Arcade machines. Shoom. Shim. Shoom. Whoa. Whatever.
Did as well as I could then. Okay. Great little game, that, to be fair. Okay. So, door appearance. Ocean View Motel observation report. Details: an excursion into the Ocean View Motel and Casino discovered and previously unseen door in the lobby hallway. This door features a spiral-shaped marking in brackets designation door something. Similar to the other doors, it is locked and cannot be forced open. Alice Wake, a person of interest in the Bright Falls AWE, in brackets refer to AWE 354 details. And the former wife of missing author Alan Wake, in brackets a suspected paratitularian and something, contacted Agent Shah and Dempsey of the investigation sector using the phone number given to her in 2010 in accordance with civilian outreach protocols. The call resulted in Mrs. Wake being brought into the oldest house for an in-person interview, in brackets for a full transcript refer to file something on something 2017. The excursion into the Ocean View Motel occurred later that same day. Conclusion: determining whether this was a basic synchronicity event, if Alice Wake is responsible for its appearance, or if the door itself relates to AWE 35 is paramount. She should be returned to the oldest house, possibly even taken into the motel itself, to confirm if any other changes occur. Alright. Night Springs screenplay, page 1, in brackets. Note the screenplay was found after the Bureau acquired the Night Springs television series and all its past episode scripts. It appears to be written by Alan Wake as part of an application to become one of the show's writers. Night Springs spec script episode Over the Threshold Darkly by Alan Wake. Host, in brackets, VO. It is only human nature to wish to control the forces around us, and even more so to possess them. But what happens when those forces are not ours to claim, or even in this world? Question mark. What if they are the things you can discover in Night Springs? So, International Secret Lab Night. We are in a secret lab. The large sign on the wall reads, the Federal Bureau of Night Springs. Scientist: I've told you several times, Director, it isn't ready. Director: it's ready when I say it's ready, Doctor. Scientist: but the being beyond the portal, we have no control over it. And we've got a case file. So, vending machine procedures. Vending machine AI81KE, containment procedure non-known, testing in the investigation sector is currently ongoing. Description / altered effect. A vending machine, its front covered in a forks wood panel, coin operated buttons for selecting food products. The item generates and stores a variety of material, in brackets both edible and otherwise, in its rows of internal trays. Initial testing suggests the item reacts to the mind of the individual in closest proximity and will produce whatever they subconsciously desire. Attempts to cause the item to create a living something have consistently failed. Background: the item was discovered in a nursing home in somewhere, Alberta, after a resident named Muriel something called a local news station about a magic vending machine. The news story reported that the nursing home staff was purposely stocking the machine with distinctive food and objects as a way to raise residents' spirits. The Bureau response team encouraged the story while confiscating the item. And we have a document over here. So Hartman background. Official findings report. RE Dr. Emil Hartman. Summary. Dr. Emil Hartman is an academic psychotherapist that owned and operated a recovery centre in Somewhere, WA, focused on the treatment of artists struggling with creative blocks and other mental disorders. Publicly, Dr. Hartman's treatment centre seemed unremarkable in its methods and purpose. Privately, however, Dr. Hartman was abusing his patients in order to utilise any latent something abilities they may possess with the aim of shaping something to his own benefit, which has earned him a Class 2 paracriminal designation. In brackets, note for more on the link between artists and their ability to something reality through artistic mediums, see file something. Investigation has proven that Dr. Hartman's illegal endeavours were conducted alone. After being approached by the Bureau during the something investigation, he displayed no remorse or intention to cease his actions. Dr. Hartman was taken into custody, evaluated and released a number of months later, having been deemed a negligible threat. His medical license has been permanently revoked. Refer to file 712-8557 for full reports. I don't know why I couldn't say that word, but it is what it is.
What are you doing in investigations?
Jesus, don't scare me like that, Langston.
If you're talking right now, I can't hear you. It's a one-way system. Try to find an intercom.
Langston, it's me, Jesse.
I know. I can see you on the monitors. The cameras in there haven't worked since we sealed that sector off a couple years back.
Let me guess. You sealed it because of the monster guy.
Wait, did you see Dr. Hartman? Jesus, I really wish you hadn't opened that fire break. Okay, listen, you need to find Hartman and kill him before he gets out into the Bureau.
That thing is a person?
He was a person. We brought him here to study after he was, altered in an AWE. I forget the medical word for what happened, but now light physically hurts him. Do you have a flashlight?
No.
A lantern? Headlamp? Oh yeah, flare gun. Oh, Christmas lights. You could wrap them around your...
I don't have any of those, Langston.
Shit. Okay, well, I'm sure you'll think of something. I'll keep an eye on you from the Panopticon. This is kind of exciting, right?
Maybe from where you're standing.
Right, okay. Well, break a leg. Oh, why did I say that?
Okay, this Hartman...
Trophian familiar methodologies.
Let's go flush him out. Langston was right. This is kind of exciting.
It's just nice to have someone to talk to, you know? Ever since I got put in charge of the Panopticon, people treat me different, like I'm crazy for wanting to work with all the others.
Okay. So we've got a new ability. Not a new ability, ability point, should I say. Okay, we've only got one though, unfortunately. Cheers for that, pal. Ah, come on, man. Let's try that again. Because that obviously failed miserably. Okay. Hey, you're an arsehole. Tell you what, them flying fucking bastards are well annoying. Alright. Okay. We need a light source.
I need a ranger sent to this location stat.
Let's put him down!
Man, this is hard mission. Fair play. Okay.
This is Director Faden. Send a ranger to my position.
We're in this together.
Let's change the loadout for some things.